Welcome back to Finance 101 by The Dope. It's a new month and it's time for a new finance topic. This month, we'll discuss about peer-to-peer lending. In this video, we'll talk about the meaning, process, advantages and disadvantages of peer-to-peer lending. Also known as crowd lending or social lending, peer-to-peer lending or P2P lending is a facility which allows individuals to get loans from others without the involvement of financial institutions. Peer-to-peer lending is a facility where the websites connect borrowers to lenders directly without any mediators. This whole mechanism takes place through websites, each having their own rates and terms and conditions. Also, most of the websites have different interest rates, which depend on the creditworthiness of the person applying. The whole process is quite transparent and flexible, making it more desirable and appealing. Borrowers also have the liberty to choose whether they want the whole process to be automated or manual. There are also a variety of sites which specialize in different types of borrowers. But how does peer-to-peer lending work? All transactions in peer-to-peer lending are conducted in a very dignified way, and the process is very simple and straightforward without much space for complications. This is how the lending process works. The first step is for the borrower to fill an online application form on the lending platform. Then, the application is evaluated by the website to analyze the creditworthiness of the borrower. After the evaluation is done, the borrower is assigned with the interest rate. After the application receives approval, the applicant gets to know about the several options that they have from the investors on the basis of their credit ratings and the interest rates assigned. The applicant then has to evaluate all the recommended options and choose the one which suits their requirements the best. After everything is done, the applicant is required to pay an interest amount, which is usually on a monthly basis, and the principal amount at the time of maturity. The company that maintains the peer-to-peer lending platform levies certain charges on the borrowers as well as the lenders for using the platform and its services. Now, let's have a look at the advantages and disadvantages of P2P lending for the borrowers. The advantages are: 1. The complete process is online, so it's very easy and convenient. 2. If the borrower has a good credit score, P2P sites offer very attractive interest rates, which are even better than banks and other financial institutions. 3. In case the borrower has lower credit ratings, they will still be able to avail the loans, but they will be given a smaller amount. 4. After borrowing, in case you no longer are in need of the borrowed money, the P2P platforms also provide you the facility of paying off your loan early or making an overpayment without any penalties. And 5. There is no bar on the purposes for which you are borrowing money. You can borrow money to fulfill any type of requirement. The disadvantages are: Number 1. The borrower might have to pay some additional fees apart from the interest that they are entitled to pay for the amount borrowed. Number 2. If borrowers have poor credit rating, then they have to pay a higher rate of interest. There is also a possibility that you might not even get a loan if your credit rating is very poor. Number 3. If you have some trouble in repaying the loan, you're not likely to receive the same protection which you would have received had you borrowed from the traditional means of lending. If you're not able to repay, you might land yourself into legal problems. Similar to the borrowers, the lenders too get to enjoy certain benefits, and they are: Number 1. Lenders get to have a higher rate of return in comparison to other investment options. The lender is the only one who gets to decide the level of risk he wants to take, depending on his capacity to bear. They can check the profile of the borrowers and choose which borrower they want to lend the money to. Number 3. To protect the lenders against the default on loans, some sites have contingency funds as well. And number 4. If you make an investment through an innovative finance individual savings account, also known as IFISA, the income that you would receive through P2P lending would be tax-free. There indeed are many benefits for the P2P lenders, but there also are certain disadvantages. Number 1. The amount of loans you give is not covered under the Financial Services Compensation Scheme. Therefore, if you get trapped in a default, you'll have to bear the financial loss. Number 2. During a loan agreement, if you want your money back, then you will first have to find another lender to take the loan. Although the P2P site will arrange all of this for you, the process is not quick and hassle-free. You may also be charged some fees. And number 3, if the borrower you have lent money to returns the money before time, then the returns paid will be low and you'll be receiving less interest for the money you lent. Peer-to-peer lending, like any other financial concept, comes with its own set of pros and cons. While it is a massively useful and effective method of finance management, it has yet to emerge completely. It will take some time for it to gain people's trust and confidence. But once that happens, it can be one of the best ways to manage personal finances and more.